Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, anywho, um, I don't know what's up with the energies today, but something's definitely up. Something is definitely up. So this reading is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. Also for those of us who find ourselves on this channel without any Piscean anything. You're probably an empath and you're probably needing messages from your soul. Excuse me, my throat. So at first I was like, I don't really have time to go live because I have class in a little bit. And Michael tells me, well, why don't you just sit and talk? Like I thought we were just going to sit and talk. And then I found myself preparing the cards. So it's this assumption that we're actually going to be having a reading. Okay. So, this upside down ethos. Excuse me. So, whatever environment you're in right now, the logic, the mindset, it might be something that is not, excuse me, that's not compatible with you. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know that it's meant to make sense, but there's something around you that pertains to mindsets that is just not compatible. It's very much upside down for what you need, for the type of things that you're considering, the type of things that you're working on. This mindset, it's one that's going to keep you very much confined, very much, I don't know, like, it makes me feel something in my chest that just does not feel good. It doesn't feel like someone's doing something per se. It feels more like a heartbreak. Um, it's this question of, is the environment you're in really enabling the breaking of your heart? Is it hurting you? And second question would be, do you need to have your heart broken open in order for you to be able to live more authentically? Have you confined yourself within your own existence? And that's why you're in the environment you're in, because it's going to challenge you. It's going to basically cause you to become rebellious to the very people, the very situations that have caused you to, shrink deeper into yourself. It's not uncommon for an empath, especially Pisceans, to kind of shut down. Okay. Not all will shut down in the face of adversity, but it's not uncommon. It's really, really not. And when you continue to shut down day in and day out, something has to give, something has to happen in order for you to break free of that cycle. And sometimes the very thing that has to happen is the breaking open of your heart. So, boundaries in reverse. It's a lot of like almost a feeling of disrespecting your boundaries. Maybe you recently reclaimed your space. Maybe you've recently reclaimed your life, and the people in it, they keep testing the boundaries. I would say because they don't know any better. I don't like to make excuses for people, but I do like to call it how I feel it or see it. It seems as though these people, they just don't seem to know any better. They're so accustomed to a specific type of dynamic that was established between you and them. Maybe it's family. Maybe it's friends. Maybe it's former friends. Maybe it's family that you're trying to get away from. Maybe it's a relationship that's just ended. There's just a lot of things. So Teresa says active solar energies with Schumann kind of flat. Well, it feels like a flat line is what it feels like. It feels like something that was once super duper alive and active is now no longer. Um, that's kind of sad to say. But, there's this medical procedure. I believe it's called a cardioversion. Cardioversion, I think it's called. It's where they actually jolt your heart to cause it to flatline. And then as it flatlines, it resets. That's a theory. Okay. That's why they do it. If you have an irregular heartbeat, maybe you have AFib, atrial fibrillation, where your heart randomly will just start beating really, really fast or really, really, really slow, tachy or bradycardia. That stuff, good stuff, not good stuff, but it's good to know this stuff. um, but anyways, if you have those types of conditions, sometimes the cardiologist will recommend cardioversion, and that's when they shock your heart, and it will halt your heart. Give it a little zap, zip, and it'll halt your heart, and they monitor you, and your heart restarts itself, and hopefully your heart will return back to normal sinus rhythm. So it's almost like this flatlining in order to reset. That's a really good thank you for that comment, Teresa. That's a really good way to put it, like a flatlining in order to give you the opportunity to reset. But here's the thing, if you're going to continue the same things that contributed to that atrial fibrillation type situation, we're still talking analogy here, then you're going to revert back to that same irregular rhythm. That rhythm is very, very dangerous. Excuse me, when it's not properly maintained. First, it taxes your heart. When you don't properly maintain your ability to live and love, you are depleting yourself. You are depleting yourself. When you're taking in too much salt and you're holding on to too much water because of that salt, your heart now has to work twice as hard, 3 times as hard, 4 times as hard to circulate all of that fluid. How much of other people's pain are you taking in and holding on to? How responsible are you for these other people to begin with? And I think that's what's going on. Like, you've taken too much responsibility for someone else's pain, for someone else's life circumstance. You've taken it upon yourself to really just take ownership over someone else's, oh, that's kind of mean. I heard tragedies. Oh man, the dry sarcasm is killing me, yo. Michael says tragedy. So maybe someone has convinced you that their life is super duper tragic, and maybe they did go through something very tragic. But is it as tragic as they're trying to play it out to be? That type of subject matter, that type of topic makes me feel like someone has been emotionally manipulating you. That's probably why this card's coming up. And this card, ethos and boundaries in reverse. Everything being turned against you, being flipped upside down and turned against you. And that's not a healthy environment to exist within. You have to make sure that the environment that you live in is one that's healthy for you. I'm not talking about perfection as though the goal is to never, ever, ever let anything happen, like a perfect life. That's a total BS goal. It really is. It really, really is. I don't even care if you get upset that I said that. It's the truth. It's the truth. This goal of having a life that's super easy, no struggle, and this and that. That's a bullshit storyline that you were sold to keep you trapped in this upside down ethos. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what this person did to you, or whoever this reading is for. I wouldn't be surprised if the person in question trapped you in this situation by causing you to become hyper dependent on them. That's a narcissistic tactic. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. A lot of narcissists will do that type of thing where they will encourage you to become dependent on them, especially financially. And once you're dependent, now they got you. Now they really got you, you know? So just keep that in the back of your mind. Begin to assess the relationships that you have with other people. Begin to really allow yourself to see, how have you been treated? How have you allowed someone else to manipulate you? And sometimes you don't realize that we're doing that. Other times we think that that's the way, people should be loved, by giving them permission to be manipulative. That's not how you love someone. That's how you teach someone to treat you poorly. Those are two very different things, okay? Homecoming. It feels as though there's like a coming home that's happening. It feels as though someone is considering something and is considering you, or you are considering someone, you're considering something. There's a lot of considerations happening, and communication needs to occur. Maybe not with other people, maybe within yourself. Maybe it's time for you to begin really assessing, like, who are you? What have you traveled through in life? What's happened recently? Um, is it time for you to is it time for you to move forward from whatever that trauma was? Because it's kind of feeling like it's time. It's kind of feeling like you've been stagnant for some time now. Um, I'm like trying to get a feel for it. It was stagnant, like in yourself, in a relationship, in some type of work situation, like stagnant how? It's a very strong energy. Someone's nervous listening to me. Why are you nervous? Who is that? I ask why you're nervous, and they're like, well, because you read me so well. I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings. I hope that's clear. I'm not trying to make anyone feel as though they suck at making life choices. I mean, we all we all go through things and make decisions based on our limited understanding of life. And it's through the poor decision making that we begin to really learn causation and effect. It's through life experience. So I don't think you messed up. Um, I think once you know better, you start to make better decisions, at least in theory. And it's when you know better and you still choose the same things that you can then be upset with yourself. But I don't believe in mistakes at all. Like, what's wrong? I feel someone so intensely. It's a really, really intense sensation, this feeling. I don't know that I want to read more. All right. Intention. Someone is setting an intention right now. I hope it's you. I hope you're setting an intention in order to really just elevate yourself within your life. You don't have to stay in the same place if you don't want to. If it's no longer resonant, then you don't have to stay there. And for those who are asking this question of like, but what if this and what if that? You won't know the what ifs until you live through it. True clarity comes after. True clarity arrives in hindsight. You never actually have true clarity as you're going through things. You just don't. I'm sorry, you guys. I have to increase the. Oh, no, 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 no. Why is it? Oh, okay. There you go. Now I can see your words. Because I'm just really trying to. I don't want to wear my glasses. Leanne says, "Yep, family. The more I try to distance myself and my energy, the more pushback I get from them." Yeah. A lot of what happens when you try and disconnect from really toxic type situations, toxic connections, they're not going to let you go easily. That's the more they will act up as they realize that you're pulling away. Mhm. Oh my. Leanne says, "That's exactly why I have pulled my energy away. I have to walk on eggshells around this family member. Can't talk about anything because they're quote unquote fragile." Mm, I have no advice because that's when I would become a bully. I wish I was joking. That's the more I would talk about things in front of them. And I'd be like, "Oh, you should probably close your ears. Do you want to use my hands as your earmuffs? I'll cover your ears. I'm going to talk about things. Do you want me to cover your ears? Do you want to cover your ears yourself?" um, I don't take well to people who try and volunteer for the victim role in every type of situation. I don't take well to that. I really, really don't. And I've learned, and it's not the most mature thing to do. I'm the first to admit that. But I've learned that when I intentionally be who I am, these people eventually get so irritated by my presence that they choose to not be present. Yep. The most common type of reaction that I used to get when I would do that is like, "Oh gosh, she's starting again." Yes, I am. Do you want to use my hands for your earmuffs or do you want to use your own? I would totally use a pillow to cover your ears, but people might say I'm going to smother you. I'm joking. Don't do that. But, I have a very, very strict point of view when it comes to that type of thing. If you're really that fragile, if you're really that sick, you won't have time, you won't have energy, you won't have the ability to start all this drama, you know? Like I had someone like, "Oh, I can't believe you're starting stuff with so and so. They Did you know they're sick?" I'm like, "Obviously not sick enough to start drama. Let's go." you know? It's just one of those things where the more you buy into the, "Oh, they're fragile," the more they're going to use that. If I'm feeling the energy accurately, the more they'll use that. And it actually is detrimental to them because the more effective the whole fragile argument is, the more they will actually believe that and take it into their truth. And then next thing you know, they're going to get more sick if they are sick. That's so you got to be careful about, tiptoeing around that. I would say just exist as organically as possible. And if people have a problem with it, let them know this is the only way I know how to be at this point. I'm trying. Oh, there was it was such a powerful, whew, it was such a powerful effing thing. Let me see if I downloaded it. Sometimes I download things. Yes, I did. Hold on. I don't know if, um, okay, I need to share this. Um I do have like Aspergeric Aspergeric tendencies. Um and this, like, I resonated with this so deeply. Like it really, really, oh my gosh. That's how I felt, like, "Oh, oh my gosh." Let me bring it on the screen. It really affected me watching this, listening to it. I had to listen to it a few times. This is powerful. I got this from TikTok, and you guys can see her username on TikTok. All right.
Hi, my name is Melody and I'm autistic, but I want to tell you what I have learned how to be for you. I have learned how to make sure that I wear different clothing every day for you. I've learned to smile when I talk to you for you. I've learned to make eye contact when I'm talking or when someone's talking to me for you. I've learned how to stop stimming in public or making noises or rocking in public for you. I've learned how to mimic you for you, such as if you are telling a joke and you laugh, or if you're smiling. I've learned how to blend in just for you. I've learned how to be you for you.
Is that what our environment teaches us? Is that what it is? We have to be nothing but a reflection of the dominant person in that environment to appease the dominant person. That's sad. That's very, very sad. It's very, very sad when we can't allow ourselves to just be ourselves because it's uncomfortable for people to witness us being ourselves. It's uncomfortable that we exist in a way that's different than other people. I say let them be uncomfortable. Let them be uncomfortable with the fact that the reality is you are your own person because you are. You are your own person, and people won't understand what you live through until you begin showing people what you live through. Yeah, that realization. Ah, mm, oh, this mama right here. Oh, boo. Amen. Drea commented up top, I can't wait to see how amazing she is at her age. My daughter's autistic, and I wish a bitch would make her feel like she needs to change. I wish a mother would. Amen, mama. Amen. She's never going to take that. You know why? Because you're her mom. And you know why you're her mom? Because that's your logic. Because she needed someone as strong as you to be able to teach her to be unapologetically herself. You know, that's a beautiful thing. It makes it less convenient to parent when we teach our children to be who they are. It's definitely not as convenient as ruling with an iron fist. But oh my gosh, the type of power that child grows into as an adult, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's so amazing. Like, I have an adult son, and one of the things that I love, 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 sometimes it frustrates me if I'm not on the positive end of it. Yeah, of course. But I absolutely respect it is that no one can force him to do anything he doesn't want to do. So I don't have to worry about the people he's in front of, and that's the thing is that he is his own person. I can't even dictate what he will like or not like. And that's how I want it. where no one can tell you, they can't tell you who to be, how to think, how to act, how to live, how to exist, how to breathe, how to communicate your truth. And I'm not raising someone who I'm encouraging to be stubborn and selfish and all of these negative things. Like, no, we do have conversations where I let him know, like, do you understand when you have this type of behavior, when you throw this type of energy, it affects your environment in this type of way. And it's not a good feeling to be around. So, unless that's what you're trying to do, you might want to temper that a little bit. You might want to pull that in just a little bit or find a different way to process. Um, and I almost wonder if what's happening right now is a playing out of a lot of that childhood programming, like for whoever this reading is for, it's a very heavy feel. It's a very, very heavy type feel. Um, for my K33 CP folks, and you don't have to identify yourself, please start charging up and harvesting. Feels as though someone has entered the chat that wants some. I have an entire crew at this point that can absolutely serve it up. I'm just saying. Honey, you're not just gonna get some smoke. You're gonna get your ass burnt. Be careful where you try and do energy work. That's an absolute energetic threat. Be careful. You've just entered a territory where people are actually capable of really fucking shit up. Be careful. Stop volunteering to be Odin's sacrifice. Be careful. Because the way my students can fuck shit up, no one's going to be able to fix that. I say that proudly too. I say that very proudly. So, Cynthia says, my mom says, okay, you're invited to the family dinner, but please don't do this. Don't say that. I said, I won't be going to another dinner with y'all who hate me. Thanks, though. Done. I love you, Cynthia. One of these days, I'll have to invite you to my family dinner where you can say whatever you want. And if it's offensive to any of us, we'll just leave the space. you know, where we will hear you, we will see you. We will allow ourselves to experience the truth of who you are. You don't have to shrink yourself. You don't have to be barely a wisp of a shadow of who you actually are. It's okay to have standards. It's okay. It's okay for you to say, I understand you're my family. Excuse me. But I also understand this is not the environment I need to be in. And that's okay. It's okay. It's not you being mean. It's not you thinking you're better than everyone. It's not you being anything outside of who you are and just asking for the bare minimum by allowing you to exist. Some people are not capable of that, you know? Some people are not capable of allowing others to simply exist, unbothered, in their peace. Don't get mad at those people. Instead, feel sorry for them as you walk away. That's what I've learned is the most powerful response, reaction. Yeah. Yep. I'm walking away. No, I'm never turning back. Mm-mm. I'm not talking about misunderstandings. I'm talking about people who consistently show you that they have a problem with your existence, you know? Like, people time and time and time again have repeatedly shown me they have an issue with the fact that I exist. And to those people, I say a very hearty fuck you. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Have an amazing day. Don't come back. And I leave it at that. We have to be able to be fearless in our truth. Sometimes that fearlessness requires soft words. Sometimes that fearlessness requires communication in a more robust, more colorful type of language. I think, just like Cynthia says, true silence is the best of all answers. Truly, I really, truly feel that. Like, if I want to be mature in my response, if I can't say anything nice, if I can't guarantee that I won't be excessively mean, I will be very, very silent because you know what? I am in the process of intentionally cultivating the person that I am. If I'm in an environment where I want to be hurtful, guess what? A lot of these people who are acting a fool, they want my attention. They want me to focus on them. They want me to engage them. How about fuck you? I'm going to be silent. You want to keep talking? I'm not listening. No, I don't got to value what you have to say. No, I don't got to show you respect. No, I don't got to do none of that. I can go ahead and go on my merry way, continuing to treat you as though you don't exist to me because I don't want no part of that. And boy, oh boy, do they get so pissed off when you do that. I don't care. I don't care. Go somewhere else with that. If you want to talk shit about me, go ahead. Oh, someone wants to come to me and tell me, like, oh my God, you know what so and so said about you? Do you believe it? Well, I don't know. Well, then go back there and listen to some more. I don't care. I don't got time for none of that. I'm working on growing my soul. I'm focused on raising future leaders. Whatever time I have, if it's not spent on those things, yo, best believe I'm going to spend that time consciously loving on my husband. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. At no point on my list of things that I want to focus on is there room to focus on bullshit. It's this very real understanding and acceptance that someone else's trauma response is their trauma response. I don't have to buy into that. I don't have to participate in it. I don't have to make sure that you're okay and that I didn't hurt your feelings. I mean, are you doing that for me? Because if you're not doing that for me, then I need to just leave you in your peace. If you're incapable of giving me the type of consideration that I am willing to give you, I need to leave you in your peace or lack thereof so that I can totally just focus on my peace. You know? We don't always have to show up to the fights that we're invited to. Some people are just really, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. If you're not going to learn anything from it, if they're not willing to hear, where it's a conversation, not them listening just enough to be able to formulate a different strategic attack. Uh-uh. Whenever I'm going to engage someone in conversation, excuse me, what I ask myself, is this person interested in hearing a different point of view? Or are they simply engaging me to gain an opportunity to override my personal beliefs so that I will go ahead and mimic them, parrot them? Because if that's it, I'm good. And then people will think, "Oh, see, I won. I won. See, she went quiet." And it's this thing of, "Yeah, you won because you're the only one playing. I'm out. Good for you. Good job. Good job. I'm out. I'm not playing with you." "Oh, you wanna argue? I don't wanna argue with you. You mad." Have you guys heard that song? It's amazing. "You big mad." Anyways, so passion in reverse. Mm. Passion in reverse. Your passion should be allowed to be the very thing that grows you, that causes you to feel so inspired and empowered that you are rising to new heights. You're going deeper than you've ever been. When passion is in reverse, when it's upside down, you're being manipulated. That is a tactic used by manipulators. It's called reactive ABUSE. Yeah. I can't use the word because apparently YouTube doesn't allow that word. Why? Because heaven forbid we talk about things that are important and that will, empower you. That is a form of reactive ABUSE. Mhm. Yeah. When you allow someone to have the power to begin dictating to you how you're going to react, you just gave your power away, you know? Ooh, you live with a mean Aquarian? That's a I would not want to go to war with an Aquarius. That's the only sign in the zodiac where I'm like, "Ah, no, I don't want to." I mean, if you force me, I guess I have to, but yeah, that's the one I would not wanna tangle with that one. See? Aquarius and Aquarius. Mhm. See, I'm Aquarius cusp. I be knowing. I sharpen my daggers for no reason. Yeah, you know? I remember one time years ago, my one of my siblings, we gotten into, like, this verbal combat. Oh, I filleted him with my words, and then finally, when, like, an argument is done, he's, like, telling me, like, "You can't just destroy people with your words like that." Oh, I absolutely can. I absolutely can, and if you're in striking distance, you're gonna get hit. So you really shouldn't be getting that close. Know what I'm saying? Now, granted, you have to really go out of your way to get me into that state, but yeah, no, I can definitely enter that. I can definitely tap into that Aquarius cusp energy. I don't like it though. I don't like it because by the time I'm there, it's I'm just out for verbal blood. Like, I can't be that person. Why? Because I don't want to be. I've existed in environments that have tried so hard to encourage me to continue to remain that person, and I don't want to be. And that's why I will not be. I have to make sure that I operate in a way, not a spiritual way, not in a way that people can identify me as spiritual or evolved, but in a way that makes me proud to be who I am. I have just enough salt for seasoning. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want the dish to be lacking salt and be bland, but you don't want it to be overly salted. And then now it's not, people can't eat that, right? So I want to be just perfectly seasoned, just enough seasonings to make it really flavorful. Really flavorful, but not so much that it's like I'm trying to prove something because I don't need to prove anything. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to prove anything anymore. You can exit out of that space of existence where you feel like you have to prove things to people. You have to show them you're this and show them you're that. And I'm over here at this point, I'm over here just, I really don't care what you're doing. We're not even going to look at you. You just, mm-mm, mm-mm. Oh, now you want to force it? Mm. You see that door is locked, right? You want to try and break that lock open? You're going to have a consequence. And that consequence, I promise you, I'll make you cry. I'll make you cry. You don't want to cry? Leave the door alone. That's your only warning. That's how I live now. When people upset me to that degree, which is rare, it's very, very rare these days, my words are very intentional, very specific, very intentional. You only get one warning with me. And I'm going to leave it alone. If you're going to continue to follow after me, and no, consequence, consequence. Yeah. And you have to understand some people will follow after you just to get that consequence. They want that consequence from you. They want that attention. They want that interaction, even if it's like spewing hatred towards them. They love it. They want it. They want it. Yeah, you get nothing. Starve from the lack of attention. Starve. Mm-hmm. Starve with that. I don't care. No, no, no more. No more playing into other people's games. No more. We have to leave that alone. We have to move forward. We have to allow ourselves to become this forever blossoming type of bloom. You're not reaching one level and then that's it. You've reached the apex. No, you will forever bloom. You will forever bloom. Don't waste any of your time and energy on the rotten parts. Those are not even part of your plant. Continue focusing on growing your roots deeper, wider, so you can be better anchored in your truth and your existence. Spring, something amazing is going to happen in the spring. I think that's when some motherfuckers will learn. I think so. I think that's when a motherfucker's going to learn to just leave you alone. I don't feel like they're going to learn because there's an issue. Like you're going to take their bait, because some people will bait you. Recognize those people, recognize what they're doing. I don't feel like you're going to take someone's bait. I feel like something is going to shift within you that's going to cause you to really just become a different person, see life differently. Um, Are you from Arkansas? I love Arkansas. I love Arkansas. You have no idea. I love hot springs. I do. I do. I love hot springs. I almost lived in hot springs, just so you know. Just so you know. I love hot springs. Anyways, something's going to happen though. I feel it. I feel the change beginning to like accrue. It's building up. This pressure is building up, and this pressure is what's going to blow the lid off of you. And it's that cap, that cover that needs to be removed. That needs to be removed so that you can grow taller. Clearance in reverse. These are not things that you need to sweep away. These are things that need to be addressed. Stop sweeping things under the rug. Okay? Leanne says, "Oh, the synchronicities. I'm hoping to start your course in May." Are you? It's spring. That's spring. It's just before summer. Everywhere's corrupt though, Cynthia. She says, "So pretty here." Yes, corrupt as any other, but pretty. Everywhere's corrupt, girl. Everywhere. Every city I go, every other video. Everywhere I go, I see the same hoes. I'm just saying, let me stop. High priestess, high priest, responsibility. You have a responsibility to yourself. You really, really do. You really, really do, really do, really do. Oh, if I'm gonna do a what do you call it? Like an in-person retreat type thing, I teach all weekend. I have like a 2-week period for the rest of 2022. I have 2 weeks, 2 weekends that are free. So, have to carefully plan this literally. I'm not joking. I have 2 weekends that are not um booked with teaching. No, oh no, oh, I mean 2 Sundays. Shit. Not 2 weekends, 2 Sundays because the Saturday I still teach. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Anywho, cloak concealment. So this is something that you're hiding from yourself. You're hiding something from yourself. And what you're hiding from yourself is quite possibly your greatest asset. Ooh, I heard that. Someone is hiding how they're in love with somebody. Are you in love with someone? Is someone in love with you? Ooh, boom, chicka, wow, wow. I'm just saying, is this what's happening in spring? Let's see. Okay, so the person's in incubation, right? Or you're still being um, baked. You're still baking. So this is like a hiding away of the truth, the reality of what's going on. I think someone's in love with someone else. I'm just saying. So prosperity in reverse. You have to straighten out your life and your perception before you can actually have things come to you. Right? Right. Okay. Oh, let us see. I gotta start class soon. Oh, okay. I just got a notification. Why it's always an intellectual conversation with the INFJ. Why it's always an intellectual conversation with the INFJ. The INFJ. Where am I going to have the retreat? I don't know yet. I don't know. I'm going to have to start planning stuff. I want to do like an outdoor wilderness primitive camping type situation. So when I go camping, I do primitive camping. Just so y'all know. Like you got to make your own fire, you got to like dig your own hole. There's no running water. I like to do primitive camping. Yeah. I like to go primitive camping where there's no one else. Just because like I like it very, very silent. I don't want to hear other people. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll definitely see. While I'm getting these cards ready, if you guys have not already checked it out, go check out my website, thesoulsanctuary.love. We're doing a lot of different things. A lot of different things are in the works right now. First and foremost, our primary project has to do with raising funds to formally be recognized by the US government as a nonprofit organization. We're still working on the structuring. If you would like to be part of that, be a founding member, simply go to my website. We're taking monetary contributions, gifts. Let me see, card number 7, thesoulsanctuary.love. And also, if you want to hear me talk about exclusive things that I can't talk about here on YouTube land, YouTube, uh, join my membership there. and I do go live. It's exclusive. It's not here on YouTube. I don't know. I like to say it like that. YouTube. Anyways, I gotta, I gotta finish up. I gotta teach class. Card number 7, Jupiter abundance. The lips of the wise are as the doors of a cabinet. No sooner are they open, but treasures are poured out before thee. Hmm. Expect doors to swing open. So whatever communication was needing to take place is really about to take place. Like all of the considerations have been considered, all of the different aspects of all the different potentialities have been considered. It's a weird sense. Really, whoever's feeling that, like, whoever this is that I'm feeling, you're never going to know unless you actually try. You'd be surprised at the type of gravity you hold with other people. You would really be surprised. I'm almost wondering if you've met, your match, meaning someone who has the ability someone who has the ability to conceal their emotions and their reactions to you, just like you're able to do with everyone else. You're never going to know unless you try. So try. Dust yourself off and try again. You can dust it off and try again. Try again. Burr, 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 burr. Oh, thank you, Maud. Thank you. Soul Sanctuary love. So there's different tiers of membership there. Yeah, considering the way the world and the world of energy has continued to go, you really might want to consider those membership options, the tiers, the different tiers, because of the type of energy work that I'm offering with those tiers. They're calibrated for a lot of the energetic stuff that's being tried right now. Um, Michael says, I'm not allowed to talk about it. Okay. He says, I'm not allowed to. Anyways, let's see. In astrology, Jupiter is a great benefic, the soother of hurts and bruises, and promises a period of good fortune when hard luck is coming to an end. Similar to Saturn, Jupiter can represent the father and what you have inherited from your father. Y'all don't like my attitude? File a complaint with my father. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I have his attitude. Anyways, when the energy of Jupiter enters your readings, you can be assured luck is on your side and fortune shines on you. You're being given not only a gift, but also a lift, if not divine help. Blocks are being removed, so as you wield influence through your own positivity and goodwill. This is certainly an astrological lucky break, but you won't be able to kick back and rest on your laurels. Instead, you will be required to attend to what you set into place and keep the positivity and attention flowing. The laurels will grow once again. Look that up. The laurels will grow once again. Laurels were once used as a form of protection against baneful magic, protection against malignant sorcery. Just saying. Anyways, you must continue to nurture the energies to the projects or events you have started. Otherwise, they could fall into entropy or decay. When it comes to providence and fortune, there's always a payment due, some toil or sacrifice on your part. So do keep this in mind. You are on your way. Just don't neglect things or become lax in your endeavors, which are traits of Jupiter as well, meaning the possibility of taking important matters for granted. Mhm. It's important to keep a watchful eye and not skim over the details in any matter. You have to make sure you allow yourself to really be present as you go through the different shifts that you're going through. A lot of really powerful things are being slated for the next couple weeks. If you don't take advantage of these next couple of weeks, mm, 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 I don't know. Um, I don't know. Yeah. If you feel at the moment you're in a dark period of time and you have drawn, no, we haven't. Doors are opening with generosity and in faith. It's time to walk through them. This card gives a positive spin to any reading. Keep this in mind, regardless of whatever is in the surrounding deck. Okay, well, you know what? Thank you for telling us to keep that in mind because the next card is, drum roll, please, Mercury retrograde. Yeah, no, I'm so serious. Card number 51, Mercury retrograde reinvention. Mishaps are like knives that either serve us or cut us as we grasp them by the blade or by the handle. If you can get a handle on whatever these challenges are that's coming up, it's probably people who are going to challenge you, right? If you can keep a handle on them, keep your hand on the handle rather than the blade, your likelihood of getting through this with minimal injury is good. Is good. The odds are forever in your favor. So okay. Let's see. Mercury isn't a predictable planet going along its normal direct pathway. Once it goes retrograde, it's akin to trying to drive a car backwards. All things ruled by Mercury suddenly begin to wobble and go off kilter. However, if you're a writer, when Mercury is retrograde, it's a perfect time to revise your writings. So, we've exited Mercury retrograde. It's now direct, but here's the thing, we're still in the shadow. You have another week or two to really fine tune this letter that you're writing to someone else. I don't know who you're writing to, but I feel like this is something that probably needs to actually be sent. I don't know what's going to happen though. I don't know. Mercury is a counterpart of Hermes, the Greek Olympian god and the sly trickster, who's not only big on pranks, but on false moves. So you're not going to send it while it's in retrograde, okay? You're not going to miss it or send it while it's in retrograde. You're going to make sure you revise it. Revise. Okay. Hermes is a god of transitions, roads, and boundaries. The very name Hermes has to do with speech and implies he's a translator. Okay. I'm wondering if you're needing to translate your emotions into actual written word, right? I mean, granted, not everyone is a writer. Hmm. Something needs to be communicated, though. It needs to be communicated in a very succinct manner. The passion needs to be imbued in the words, but it has to be succinct, no extra frilly stuff. Because the sense that I get is if you're going to write to someone, they're probably an overthinker. They're going to dissect that. Leave them as little matter to dissect as possible. Very to the point, words carefully chosen, no rambling, just to the point. Why don't you consider writing this? I miss you. Because that's a feel that I get. Like, why else are you writing? Because you need to say sorry and this and that. And no, you miss them. A simple one liner of I miss you. That's a very beautiful way to open dialogue, you know? Yeah. You have to open up that dialogue between you and the other person. Well, you don't have to, but it feels like you want to. It feels like you really, really want to. And in that want, you're going to need to make sure that you approach this in the healthiest, most empowering way possible. So, mhm. The very name, okay. When the information comes to us wrongly because of Mercury's unpredictable retrograde motion, nothing seems to go right. So you can't how are you gonna overthink the "I miss you" part? That's what I'm saying. You can open it up to that, like, "I miss you," and then they can totally, take it upon themselves to decide how they're going to react or respond. Um, if they respond, then even if they're angry in their response, they actually do miss you as well. Because why else would they respond? Mhm, mhm. I'm just saying. When this card comes up in a reading, back up all of your equipment, your computers, your cell phone numbers. Anyways, okay. Let's see. Mundane matters aside, retrograde planets are said to be more empathic, and that means that strangely, we are more silently and internally keyed into their energies. You're keyed into something, that's for sure. This causes unusual and fated meetings to occur. I don't know. So it's almost a sense of let me move the mic. It's almost a sense of you might cross paths with this person. I don't know if you're intending to. I don't know what your intent is at all. Um, but paths might cross maybe in real life, maybe somewhere online. They might see you posted somewhere or something, but the opportunity for reconnection is definitely there if you guys both agree to it. This causes unusual and fated meetings and occurrences to happen. You may meet up with someone you haven't seen in years at a most unexpected place. You may have a conversation with someone with whom you have only had a superficial relationship with, when suddenly you connect to that person, causing a much deeper rapport. Rapport. Okay. If you're asking about the strengthening of a relationship, this is not a good time to get married. I don't believe in marriage. I don't believe that government should be involved in that. I don't. I really, really don't. So moving right along, it's an excellent time to renew your vows. Ah, anywho, anywho. Okay. It's not a good time to initiate a divorce or end a relationship, though, considering how soon Mercury moves forward again. Because if you do, then the relationship will soon move forward again as well. So I'm wondering, are you needing to sever a relationship, a connection with someone, or um, like, did this consideration just happen? Is this a new thing? Did you start it during Mercury going retrograde? Or is it something that's been happening? You've just still been working through it during Mercury retrograde. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Here goes. The final card. Oh, good old Abe. Seventh house partners. Card number 31. He says, and I quote, marriage is neither heaven nor hell, it is simply purgatory. I don't know, Abe. Bindings, whether emotional and domestic or lawful and what is right or permissible, are indicated now. Someone needs to be bound. Blood in, blood out, bound by honor. Have you guys seen that movie? Oh my God. Let me not. Let me not. Yeah, no, someone needs to be restricted, maybe in their access to you. Um, maybe they need to be blocked. Something needs to be done. I think this is a different person. I think this is a different person. I don't think this is a person that you are pining away for. Um, I think this is a person who has been quite possibly stalking you. But what's new, right? You got stalkers all the time. Pisces, empaths, people be stalking you all the time. Okay. Let's see. The seventh house is the area of the chart that represents the other, since it's opposed to the first house of the self. Traditionally, it's been thought to be the house of marriage and marriage partners. And although this may still be the primary meaning, the other can also include friends and family and peer groups. So it can mean significant others, such as coworkers. Who am I feeling? What is this? Listen, listen to me with your good ear. Whatever relationship you're in is a relationship that can add to your growth, that can really help to ripen your self love. Even though it's probably now ending for whoever this is, I don't know who it is, even though it's probably ending, it still has benefited you in some way. That benefit cannot be fully realized and integrated until you let go of this perception that you made a mistake getting in a relationship with someone. It's not a mistake, it was necessary. It helps you to reach higher levels of understanding yourself, deeper depths of accepting what it is you understand about you. You didn't make a mistake. You simply were living and you got disappointed. You got disappointed because your expectations of the outcomes and longevity of whatever you were trying to create was not in alignment with the reality of the person you were trying to create this with. Doesn't necessarily mean they're a bad person. It just means your paths have diverged. It's time to move forward. It's okay. It's okay. Really, I'm not just saying it's okay just to soothe you. If it wasn't okay, if you really messed up, you would hear me saying, "You fucked up. You really royally fucked up." I'm not afraid to speak the truth. I'm not saying these things to soothe your feelings. I'm saying them because this is what I truly, genuinely believe. You did not make a mistake entering into that partnership. You entered into it without a clear understanding that it was not meant to be lifelong. And just because you misunderstood that, just because you miscalculated that, doesn't mean that you're a horrible person or they're a horrible person or any of that. It just means now is the time to focus on what you need to heal within yourself. That's it. So use this time to focus on what you need to heal within yourself so that you can one day, hopefully very soon, remember that you're a whole person. You're not missing another half. There's no like void. You just have to work on you and your acceptance of you. This is part of the reason why I totally always just cringe when the topic of the twin stuff comes up. Not because I don't believe twins are real. I believe it's a very real phenomena. But a lot of the bullshit teachings that are spread around, it's absolute bullshit. That you're a what? You're missing a piece until you find this person who is equally as injured, equally as confused about life as you are. They're going to make you whole. Why? They're just as confused as you. So then what do? You focus on realizing the process of realization of your inherent wholeness. You are a whole person. It's nice to have people who we can resonate with. It's crazy. It's nice when we can have people that we can resonate with on such a deep depth, uh, and share space with them and experience things with them. Is it absolutely necessary and required? No, no, no. The reality of twins orbiting each other, that is a reality. They will always orbit each other. I will always sense things. They will always sense things. That's the reality of it. And what beyond that? Nothing. That's the reality of it. Does that mean now I'm obligated to be in a romantic partnership? No. Does that mean they're obligated? No. We are all still free to live our life as sovereigns, as whole beings, as sentient whole beings. We don't have to play this role for someone else. You're not here to save someone else. You're here to pull out those parts of you that you buried far too deep. Those parts need your help. They need you to be able to pull yourself back out. It's about you entering into your place of truth. What better way to see your progress than by looking in a mirror? And that's what twins are. They're your mirror, right? So, I mean, are you obligated to carry the mirror around with you everywhere? Do you have to be in some sort of, sexual relationship with the mirror? Try that one day. Take a full length mirror. I'm not even joking. Take a full length mirror and carry it around with you all day because it's going to empower you, right? It makes you whole. It makes you whole. Yeah, that's your other half. And, and you no, you have to save the mirror. You have to carry the mirror and save the mirror and carry the mirror and save the mirror. And let's see how long that will last. Because that's what you're being taught to do with twin flame stuff. That's what you're being taught. That's what they're telling you. And when I put it in those terms, does it sound obnoxious? It sounds obnoxious to me. I exist with a full knowing that if whoever this is truly my divine counterpart, they are just as powerful as I am. Just as powerful. Bare minimum is equal power, equal capability, equal level of tenacity. So, what's that mean? Bitches. Every time you knock him down, he getting back up. He's getting back up just to spite you or because he wants to. Don't matter. He's getting back up. He's not going to stay down. I know I wouldn't. You want to try and control? No, we not having none of that. So what do I have to feel sorry about? If you exist, believing you have this divine counterpart, this perfect mirror of you that you want to classify as a twin flame, and you feel sorry for them, that's really pity for yourself. They're reflecting a part of you that you don't want to see. So see that part and heal that part so you can move forward from that. All right. So I got to get going. When the seventh house card presents itself in a reading, it usually means one of two things, either issues dealing with partners or significant others, or court cases and legal issues. This card itself is neutral, much like the actual seventh house, which strives for balance. So the surrounding cards will indicate the basic meaning, whether positive or negative or something in between. So this card could possibly imply that a relationship could be slowly dissolving or fading, much like a shoreline with a sea erasing names written in the sand. Misinformation or lying could be a part of it. Let's see. If a card is referring to a court case or legal issue, it's not a good time for that. The end result may not be what is hoped for, or is one that might drag on, again, ending over time in a dissolving way with no real closure. Could also indicate power struggles, and even ruthlessness would figure in. Someone is being excessively ruthless in their emotional manipulation. Be very careful. Be very, very careful. Someone is being so ridiculously ruthless in that. Down to using tears. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. 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 No, 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 no. I once had someone who was extremely emotionally manipulative, and I got Capricorn all up in my place, okay? I admit it was a mean thing, but they started crying to try and, to try and get me to cave and do what they were wanting, and so my only response that I could think of was like, cry louder. Cry louder, because I don't care if you're crying. And the people you want to support you have not heard it yet. Cry louder. I really like, I'm not okay with any of that emotional manipulation tactics, the whole like crying thing to get their way. Like, you don't know what I've been through. Honey, we all been through something, honey. I'm not even joking. Literally, we've all been through something. We're all fighting things that, you know, most people don't know we're going through. Stop letting yourself be manipulated. Just stop. And it might even be someone that you've known for a very long time, and this thing is imploding, it is falling apart, and I would not be surprised if they're using certain types of approaches like, "I can't believe you're doing this to me, like, we've known each other for how long? For how long? I've loved you for how long?" Well, have they loved you, or have they loved what your presence could do for them? Because that's the real question. I've had people claim to love me for a very long time, and they've loved me because of the benefit of knowing me. But did they love me? Well, if you can't see that your presence is hurting me like a dagger in the chest being twisted slowly, then I can't really say you love me. You love the concept of me. You love the presence that I bring. You love the benefits that come with knowing me. But do you love me? Probably not. I'm still learning how to balance this lesson that I've been in the process of learning for the past several years. One aspect of what I learned is oftentimes the people who are so vocal about loving you are the very people who would stab you in the back as soon as they find another novelty to love. Right now, the aspect of it that I'm learning is that just because I've learned that in the past does not mean that everyone who is vocal in their love of me is going to do that to me. This is about learning to use discernment. I was in a very toxic environment, extremely toxic, a bunch of users, people who act as though they are bottomless pits of receiving. And as long as you're willing to give, they are willing to receive. Now, that's the key there. That's what you have to recognize. You were feeding that. And that's what I had to recognize about what I was doing. And now that I'm no longer willing to feed that, I'm immersed in an environment of you guys who really genuinely care, genuinely support, have genuine love. And so I can't keep thinking that way where it's like, "Oh, you saying you love me? Mhm. When you gonna stab me? When? Is it soon or later? Just let me know a general time frame so I can prepare myself." No, we can't live like that either. We have to live in this beautiful middle ground, a beautiful, beautiful middle ground, somewhere that's not too hot and not too cold, where we don't just let anyone and everyone in, but we don't freeze everyone else out either. It's about finding your center. Okay. Many of us are learning to find our centers. Many of us are struggling with this lesson. It's okay. You will learn everything you need to learn in the perfect time you need to learn it. But Emmy, I've been trying to learn this for like 5 months already. Honey, some lessons require more time. You can't rush through the most profound parts of the learning. Some lessons require more time and it is worth it. You are worth the process you go through to learn the profoundness that you need to learn. Have a conversation with yourself, okay? Have some conversations with yourself. Allow yourself to begin the process of identifying what in you is being triggered and exploited. Some of your triggers are being exploited by other people. Mm-mm. Don't allow that. Do not allow that. That's how you end up cutting yourself. Okay? All right, guys. I'll be live later today to do expedites, personal readings. We're going to do energy work, all sorts of different stuff. Please come back to this channel at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's when I will be live. If you have not yet taken a look at my website, thesoulsanctuary.love, please do. Consider joining my membership. Consider donating to the cause. We are in the process of creating a formation that is federally recognized as a nonprofit. So, if you'd like to be part of the foundational members, definitely check that out. Come back here at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Please give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me every time I'm live. If you are already subscribed and you're not getting your notifications, make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube is being a grotchky little hoe. It is. And if you're watching or listening to this via podcast, interact with that track. I don't know how it works, but I'm sure you do because you're on there. So interact with it, download it, save it, whatever it is, give it a heart, a plus, a thumbs up, forward it, whatever you want to do. I'm across basically every single podcast streaming app at this point. Look for me under Emmy Evolving or the Soul Sanctuary podcast. We just spread this far and wide. You guys, total vulnerable moment. I really need you to show up for me and share all my things out. I am definitely being squeezed on social media. I've spoken far too much truth, even though it's been highly restricted. They're cutting my reach everywhere because I'm too honest. I empower you too much. I talk about things that are not allowed to be discussed. But here's my logic. Fuck what they allow. Fuck what they allow. You deserve to remember your power. And if that means they're going to restrict my reach, I don't give a shit. Okay? What's important to me is that you remember that I help you initiate the process of remembering that you are my equal in every way. We are powerful individually and even more powerful together. So, may the games begin. I'm joking. No, really, share it out. Share it out. It's going to be a huge year. Huge. Not just for me, but for all of us. And I'd like to get this on the ground and running as quickly as I possibly can. I'm very much ready to step into the truth of my purpose. Very, very ready for that. What exactly is that? We'll see it unfold together. Together. I have every intention of allowing you to witness me in every part of this process, from the groundwork all the way up. All the way up. Okay? We rise together. I got to get going. Class is about to start. All right, guys, have an amazing rest of your day. Come back at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to join me for live energy work and personal readings. I'll have that